Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
sorry. Let me check. But were they seeing it before now?
They were seeing it before the class ended previously.
Okay, let me see. Okay. All right. I believe they will be able to see it now. They should check. Mary, can you help me to confirm if they can see the screen now?
Yes, ma. Can see it. Me, I can see it, ma.
No, I'm talking about those on YouTube.
Okay.
All right. So let's continue. They will give us feedback later. Why I quickly open this course outline is for us to know we have gone through the determiner. Now types of demand and types of supply before we talk about the elasticity. Types of demand and types of supply before we talk about the elasticity. Mary is still raising up her hand. Quickly ask your question.
Sorry, ma, I forgot to drop it. They can see it now, ma.
They can see. They can see the
Yes, ma.
screen now. All right,
Yes,
so
ma.
let's continue. We will quickly look at the types of demand. Now, in this course outline, I want to quickly correct types of demand and supply. Now, by types is quite different from the elasticity. I hope you understand that. So take note of this correction now. Take note of this correction in this course outline now. All right, then the elasticity. Elasticity. So that will be, this one will be 4 now. And then we have, this will be 4. This is supposed to be 4. Anyway, we will correct the numbering later, but take note of the separation. So this is the third one we are taking now. We will quickly take this third one, types. Now, I will quickly share that of demand. Types of demand. I will want us to bear in mind that when we talk about the types, we need to know typical example, which is why I will quickly run through. Types of demand, we have 4 major types. And I'm sure some of us are familiar with some of these types. A typical one, a typical example of derived demand, the first one is what you need to demand for in order for it to be used for another thing. I would have loved us to elaborate more on this, but because of our time, I will want us to identify more examples of derived, what you demand for, that you do not use it for itself, but you demand for it because of what you will use it for. And a typical example is demand for money, that you get money, everybody demand for money, but not because of money itself, but because of what money will be used to do. So the situation in which goods are not wanted for its own sake, but for the sake of what will be produced through the goods or what it will be used for. Let me correct this now. What it will be used for what it will, for what it will be used for. Another example is when we say demand for labor, you are not bringing in a teacher, you are not bringing in a consultant because of the person themselves, but because of the service they are going to render. So demand for labor, demand for service, they are typical examples of derived demand. So joint demand is when we say, another name is complementary. It simply means you demand for it and you automatically have to demand for some other things that will be used with it. So once you are going for a typical commodity, you are indirectly going for another one that will go together with it. For instance, we say demand for a biro or a pen or a car. Automatically what you will use to make it run, you need to demand for it. So joint or complementary. Then for composite demand, I will want one or two of you, one or two to read it out, so to be sure you can still see my screen. Emanuela, you are raising up your hand, but please hold on if you are asking question. So let somebody help me to read out the third one, composite.
This refers to the demand for a commodity
to meet many other objectives. So thank you. You can mute yourself now. I will want to know whether those people want to ask question. Emanuela?
Okay, ma. Good morning, ma. I wanted to ask
Yeah,
that.
morning.
With the explanation you gave concerning derived demand, that those are goods that are purchased uh, just for the sake of what to be produced with. So can we say that all goods are categorized under derived demand? Because, like, for example, a biro, we purchase it for the use of writing. So like every good is categorized under derived demand. That's my question, ma'am.
Any good, the typical example is demand for money, demand for labor. But if you are looking for a good, it's an example of a particular good that will come under this. That of biro that you are talking about, I don't know how you would justify that. For biro, I think you demand for biro, it comes under complementary. Demand for biro without demanding for ink, it comes with it anyway. But whatever you need to explain that it's to justify the fact that whatever you are demanding, that you can't eat money itself. You use something to buy, to get some other things. That's what derived demand is. But for biro, it comes under joint. So let's quickly see composite. Composite means you can demand for a particular thing. Once you have it you have it in your hand. You could have demanded for it for A, to use it for A, but once you have it at your hand, once you have it handy, you can use it for B, you can use it for C. So composite means you can use it for many objectives. Once you have it, a typical example is you demand for flour. Once you demand for flour, you can decide to use the flour to bake. You can use it to do so many other things apart from baking. Composite means it comes as a component. You can use it for many objectives. So in other words, a particular commodity is demanded for in order to put it into many uses. So what we are familiar with is a flour, but we can also say you demand for palm oil. Palm oil, you can use it for industrial purposes, maybe to make soap. You can use it to cook and every other thing. So whatever it is that you have, I'm going to mute you all. Oh. I can hear sound from the background. Whatever that person is doing, please, is sounding in my ear. So whoever wants to speak will be the one that will be unmuted. Erinle.
Yes, ma'am. I wanted to ask.
Erinle.
Good morning, ma.
I'm
I
listening.
wanted to, yeah, I
Yeah.
wanted to ask that flour, is it not also, can we say it's also a derived demand?
Is it not also?
Can we say flour is also a derived demand?
You can use flour itself. It is not a derived, it's composite. In the sense that you demand for it because you will use it itself. You can use it to do many other things, but at least you demand for it because it is useful itself. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
The last one here, when we talk about competitive demand, competitive simply means that you demand for a thing that if you don't demand for it, you could as well go for another one. For instance, you demand for Milo. If your demand for Milo is not effective, you could as well go for Bonvita. It simply means what you have before you. If you go for A, there is this option open before you that if you did not go for A, you could have as well go for B. So competitive means they will still meet the same, how do I describe that? They still meet the same needs. So they already have substitutes. So if you don't go for A, you might as well go for B or C or any other one. So the examples I have here is so let's quickly see under that of supply, types of supply. Types of supply. I believe you can still see my screen. Ouch.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you still see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma.
I can't see the screen now.
Waiting for me.
I can see the
It's
screen
so
now.
big, like.
Host self Tom comot. Now both of them comot self.
Now waiting
I'm
sub the
just
last
saying.
time. Now waiting sub the last time.
Hey, no noise.
Oh boy.
I can see the screen now. What is happening here?
No noise.
I don't understand.
Hey, mute yourself.
And I don't even fool. I don't allow me host to join back.
Hey, make some people come out.
Now student put your pass.
Afa, come out the class. No host enter now.
I mean, more than they come out one. More than they come
Make
out.
some people come. Yourself come out. Make everybody come out first.
If I don't say that they come out, myself will come out. Yeah, one by one.
Your lecturer is here.
Who won't come out like this? Who will come? When person come out now? Who not volunteer?
You start.
Yeah, I don't come out.
Now that Muhammad Ali go now, he's supposed to come out.
Why you won't come out me? What did I do?
Hey, come on this class.
Wait, who be host? Jesus. They go
Yes.
give students host. This one go they come
All
out
of una no go come out for this place. Make host enter. Make
Hey, keep
lecturer
quiet.
enter. Una no go come out.
Hey,
Mama, you
keep
said
quiet.
come on. Now you said come on.
Now don't use class cash kuzu. How can I come out, Jerry?
Oh boy, you
Yes,
come
sir.
out. You say come out. You wait they talk.
Yeah, they don't they comot. They don't they comot. Class don't they full back. Oh yeah,
Eh,
one
na
one.
him dem dey join back. You get the wife.
Make all the class reps come out. Make everybody just come out.
Now all
Omo,
those people with the
fine girl,
home mic,
wetin
they
say?
ask. And they know someone they post them.
See.
They
If they don't
comot
full
don
back,
talk.
we settle this thing once. Host, make this host just close. May he just close class. May he close everything. Everybody.
May host keep like 50 people.
No kwami kumena kankweli amen.
Waiting you that.
What
Wait till I
this
hear.
kind of incantation is that?
Monday morning.
Wait till I
They
hear.
know they come out too. Hey, now
I
come
want
out. Hold
I
on.
want commerce people now. I want commerce people now.
Yeah, come out.
Eko belo chi.
Yeah,
May
come out.
host
Come out.
no one mic.
Who be Abdullahi? I want come out Abdullahi.
Yeah,
Come out
come
anybody.
out.
Go
Me
find
na lead by example. More
Hey,
of you but then
if
we
they
will
call
see
my
you
name, I
guys.
go swear for you if you come out
Yeah.
tomorrow. I go
So
swear
you
for
fit
you.
talk. So you fit talk.
Una dey finish my data. Una dey finish my data. Make una
The
come
data
out.
don't cost. Make class reps na commute. Me na lead by example. Eh?
Oyenkachi, I want come out you now.
Who says the by example?
I go swear for you.
Which one be all
Miracle,
this
I
one?
want
Where
come
you
At the
out
get
back
that
you
of
phone
now.
that
where they
tree,
sound like this?
at the back of that tree. Move from gate.
Nobody dey post come
Now
out
you
on
come
this
out.
woman. Blessing, we no go
Host
do
rep,
this.
you no go chat this woman, sha.
Make
Woman
all
self
of
no
una
want.
They
come
wait
out
data
oh.
don't cost. I beg.
everywhere now.
You know,
Everywhere
you
Ah,
know,
now.
get
chill.
more
Now
data
me
like
be
that.
host. Now me be host. Now that makes some man with me and I am first come on.
To this
You
Sasha,
don't
That
even
makes some man.
try
Host
am.
on his mic na.
Don't even try am. Me na
Hey,
come out.
may nobody come out now. I go swear for you.
If